Y&R and the Restless spoilers next week April 20th to 24th, 2026. Welcome back to our channel. Today is a Tuesday, I think, but honestly, the days are just blurring together at this point because I have been staring at these Genoa City updates for hours and my brain is just absolutely melting. But we have a deadline and we have to get through this. So let's just dive right into the absolute mess that is happening this week on the show. And trust me, it is a massive, sprawling mess. So grab a coffee or maybe something much stronger, because you are going to need it to get through all this drama. So let's start with Victor Newman. Let's talk about the mustache for a second. Because this week, Victor is not sitting behind his massive desk at Newman Enterprises. He is not just glaring at his portrait on the wall and barking orders at his kids. No, he is out there in the wild. He is acting, and on Tuesday, he is going to fire a warning shot at his enemies. And with Victor's personality, you already know that a warning shot from him does not come with a second chance. If Victor warns you, you are basically already dead in the water. But who is the enemy right now? Honestly, it feels like everyone. Because Victor is just on a total rampage right now. And by Wednesday, he is going to deliver on a promise. Which means that someone in Genoa City agreed to something with Victor. And they are about to find out exactly what the true price of that deal is. And we already know Diane Jenkins made a deal with him. But Victor is greedy. He always wants more power. So he is expanding his web of manipulation. And then we get to Friday, because on Friday, Victor is going to sit directly across from Phyllis Summers. And he is going to make her a deal that she cannot refuse. And listen to me. The simple fact that Phyllis Summers is even sitting at the same table as Victor Newman just shows you how completely and utterly desperate the situation has become for her. Because they hate each other. They have always hated each other for decades. But Phyllis is backed into a corner right now. And why is she backed into a corner? Because her entire world is falling apart. So let's get into that corporate mess. Michael Baldwin is going to share a secret with his wife Lauren Fenmore. And this secret is an absolute bomb. Summers' company is about to collapse, just total destruction. And Lauren is just trying to start this huge new chapter in her life. She is stepping up as the second in command to Phyllis at Summers Corp, and Michael is supposed to be retiring. He literally just hung up his legal suits because he wanted to relax. But now they are thrown right into this massive corporate warfare because someone is targeting Phyllis. And Summers' company is hitting a very dangerous turning point. So Phyllis is freaking out, she is paranoid, she is defensive. And she is fiercely protective of Summer. Because Phyllis will burn the world down for her kids, but it gets worse for her. Because Victoria Newman is out there, and Victoria is actively seeking out dirt on Phyllis. Which means the Newman daughter is going on the offensive. And let me tell you, Phyllis Summers landing in Victoria Newman's crosshairs is never a fair fight for either of them. It is going to be brutal. Because Victoria has all the Newman resources. So Phyllis is desperate. Her daughter's company is collapsing. Victoria is attacking her. And who is sitting there with a life raft? Victor Newman, the devil himself. Offering her an alliance that could literally rewrite the rules of Genoa City. But Phyllis is going to have to sell her soul to take it. And I just know she is going to do it because she has no other choice. But okay, let's jump to the Wednesday shocker. Because this is the one that has everyone screaming at their screens. Diane Jenkins is going to catch Jack Abbott and Nikki Newman in a compromising position. Yes, Jack and Nikki, together, caught, and Diane walks right in on it. And I am telling you right now, the Abbott mansion does not have enough pillows to cushion this fall. It is going to be a complete disaster. Because Jack and Diane's marriage is already a burning trash fire right now. Jack slept with Patty Williams, Patty. The unhinged, dangerous Patty, who has caused so much trauma to this family over the years. And Diane saw right through the betrayal even though Jack was drugged at the time. Diane is so bitter and angry and insecure. Because remember, she faked her own death years ago and she always feels like she has to prove herself, so she froze Jack out completely. She even teamed up with Victor to get revenge on Jack, which is just crazy. So Jack is just devastated right now. He is lonely, He is defeated. He is so incredibly sad. And who does Jack always run to when his life falls apart? Nikki. Because Nikki has this massive savior complex when it comes to Jack. They have so much history. She tried to talk sense into Diane earlier, but Diane just completely shut her down. So Nikki went back to Jack to comfort him, and they are leaning on each other. And the tension in that room is escalating. And then Diane walks in, and whatever she sees. A hug, a kiss, a look. Whatever it is going to test this marriage in a way that has absolutely nothing to do with Victor's usual plotting. It is just raw, ugly, human jealousy. And Patty Williams is still out there preparing to strike again, so Jack is just doomed from all sides. And speaking of doomed families, let's talk about Lily Winters. Because Lily is asking Devin Hamilton and Nate Hastings to look at Holden Novak in a completely new light. And why? Because Holden just found out that Malcolm Winters is his biological father. So Lily wants Devin and Nate to open their hearts to him, to accept him into the family fold. But that is a really tough ask right now. Because Devin and Nate already have so many complicated, messy feelings about the Winters family legacy, and Devin is in a terrible mood anyway. Because Devin is fighting with Abby. So Abby and Devin are struggling to understand each other. And honestly, it has never been easy for them to communicate, but right now, it is toxic. Because Devin secretly filed a petition with the judge to send Mariah Copeland to prison. Because Mariah had a psychological break and kidnapped Dominic. And Mariah is in a mental health facility right now trying to get better. She is so vulnerable and sick, and Abby blasted Devin for going behind her back with the lawyers. Abby actually thinks hospitalization is best for Mariah. She is showing mercy, but Devin is angry and rigid and unforgiving. So he walked out of the coffee house. He refuses to listen to Abby or Sharon or Christine. So Devin is definitely not in the headspace to welcome Holden into the family. But Lily needs her family to stick together. Because Lily is facing an absolute nightmare. Malcolm's life is hanging by a thread. He needs a bone marrow transplant, and guess who is the only match? Kane Ashby. Yes, Kane is back, and Kane is making a bold move to help Lily, but it is Kane, so it is not a selfless act at all. Kane brought a secret contract with him. He is demanding executive control of Chancellor Winters in exchange for his bone marrow. He is literally extorting Lily. He is holding Malcolm's life hostage for corporate power. And Lily is horrified. She is furious, but she is desperate. Anything Kane does this week could change the entire Winters family landscape forever. And Lily has to decide if she will let her uncle die or hand the empire over to her lying, manipulative ex-husband. And meanwhile, Holden is leaning on Claire Newman and finding comfort in her. Which is just wild because of the Newman and Winters history, but they are connecting. Okay, so now we have to talk about Billy Abbott and Sally Spectra. And this part is just so hard to write because it is so sad. The notes say they are adjusting to a new normal. And after the pregnancy reveal last week, this new normal takes on a very, very heavy meaning. Because it is a tragedy, it is not a happy normal. Sally was pregnant, and she was scared. But instead of supporting her, Billy let his mother Jill get into his head. Jill cruelly questioned Sally's loyalty because Jill is a snob who hates everyone Billy dates. And Billy actually questioned the paternity of the baby. He insulted Sally, he broke her heart, and Sally was furious. She felt so deeply betrayed by the man who was supposed to love her. So Sally ran out. She went to Audra Charles for comfort. Because Audra is basically her only friend right now. And Audra actually revealed she had a secret miscarriage years ago with Noah Newman. Which was a huge shock, so Audra understood her pain. But then Sally left, she drove home. In the pouring rain, the visibility was terrible. And she crashed her car, she hit a guardrail. The car flipped over, and she barely crawled out before it exploded into a fireball. And the trauma of the crash caused a severe miscarriage. Sally lost the baby. She lost another baby. Just like she lost Ava with Adam, so she is hospitalized, she is broken, she is in physical agony. And this new normal is just pure grief, and Billy. Billy is going to be consumed by unimaginable, life-altering guilt. because his cruel words drove her out into that storm. And he can never fix this, and honestly, I am so sick of Billy doing this. He always ruins everything good in his life. But let's take a quick breath from the misery. Because Stephanie Simmons is reconnecting with an old friend. And from the What's Next video, that old friend is Nate Hastings. They run into each other at the GCAC bar, and at first, she doesn't recognize him at all. But then they realize she knew his mother, Dr. Olivia Winters. Stephanie and Olivia were great friends back in the day. So Stephanie is overjoyed to see Olivia's grown son. And they have this really nice, nostalgic chat, which is probably the only wholesome thing happening in Genoa City right now. Nate really needs a grounding moment like this with all the corporate chaos happening. Also at the GCAC, Danny Romalotti is helping Christine Blair make a tough decision. And in the video, Christine has a surprise for him. She calls it pretty big. At first she is super excited to tell him, but then she gets super emotional and tearful. And Danny is just shocked. We don't know what it is yet. But it is going to shake up their renewed marriage for sure. Danny has that whole rocker past, but he just wants a quiet life now, so this surprise is going to be a big deal. Alright, back to the darkness, Las Vegas, because Vegas is a literal war zone right now. Nick Newman is heading down a dangerous path. And considering he is locked in a Vegas storage room under Matt Clark's control, the word dangerous is a massive understatement. Matt is a total psychopath. He is holding Nick hostage. And he is torturing him. Matt pumped Nick full of fentanyl to calm him down. And then pumped him full of cocaine to rile him up. Nick is completely incapacitated. He is sweating and fighting for his life on a dirty floor. And Matt is just gloating. Matt actually told Adam Newman and Chelsea Lawson that Nick overdosed and died. He looked them in the eye and said Nick is dead. But Adam Newman is not buying it. Adam is pushing Riza for the truth. Because Adam is a gambler. He knows how to read people. And he read Matt's bluff instantly. Adam knows Nick is still alive. So he is demanding answers from Riza, because Riza is connected to the Vegas underground. She knows Adam's dark alter ego, Spider, and she was taunting Chelsea earlier, telling Chelsea she isn't on the crazy side, and smirking at her because Chelsea is so naive. But Adam doesn't care about Chelsea's jealousy right now. He just wants to find Nick. Because Adam actually loves his brother deep down despite all their fights. Adam is going to use every dirty trick he learned as Spider to get the truth. And if that wasn't enough chaos, Sharon Newman and Noah Newman are going to be ambushed in Vegas. Sharon got an SOS call. She flew straight out to find Nick. Because she will always fiercely protect him. They are soulmates. And she brought Noah. Noah was already freaking out at Crimson Lights because he couldn't reach his dad, so they are in Vegas. And in the What's Next video, they find an abandoned location, a dusty old warehouse or something. And they decide to go in, which is so stupid because they get ambushed. They cannot get out safely, they are trapped. So now Matt Clark has Nick, and he basically has Sharon and Noah too. It is a complete nightmare for the Newman family. And I don't know how they are going to get out of this one alive. Seriously, this week is just non-stop stress. Make sure you tune in because you do not want to miss a single second of this absolute train wreck.